Well guys, this is my next project on Dave.DIY. Before we get started here, I just want to let you guys know if you ever have any questions for anything, whether it's a plumbing question, all that stuff, you could always email me at Dave.DIY. Even if your comment has nothing to do with the video you're watching right now, drop it below, whether you got a problem with your faucet, with the drain, whatever. That's what we do here on Dave.DIY. I love to help you guys out. It's the whole reason I started this channel. It's probably the reason you're here. Now for this project. This fish tank is something that we inherited when we bought this house a year ago. It had a couple fish in it. It has some more in it now. It's been a little bit hard to maintain. Problems with the original filter, all that kind of stuff. Either way, this fish tank is built into this wall. It's not something that we wanted to get rid of when we got this house. On the other side of this wall is a double garage. They built this box enclosure for this fish tank so it can sit on this wall like a pretty little picture. What's going on here is some of the wood was damaged over time. This wall is going to get painted. Now, I know people will say, oh my gosh, you have stained hardwoods, why would you paint over that? It just makes sense for the layout of our house. The colors of this room just look way too outdated. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be painting this black. So the frame, the wall, everything will be black. Then the door will remain the same color. That's what we've been doing throughout the house. And then we've got our, I guess you would call it wainscoting down low here. The rest of the walls are going to be beige, and the beige is going to go straight down into the wainscoting, all one color. So we're going to have this dark wall here, and then we're going to have light color throughout the room where I'm going to be showing you a little pan around of this entire room because we have a nice fireplace here. We've got French doors. There's a bathroom and then a TV over here. The floor is absolutely horrible. That will be the last thing I do in this room because it needs to be leveled out and everything. So that's for another time. First thing we're going to do is the walls here though. So follow the transformation. Thanks guys.
Now the first thing we're going to be doing here is putting on a primer coat of this acrylic alkylid, if that's even a word. You can see how it's written on the can. This is a primer bought at Home Depot. Pretty affordable. We use this in our kitchen renovation that we also have on the YouTube channel. And that's what we use to prime all of the cabinets. It's what I'm using to prime all of this wood here. Just because it has a pretty glossy finish on it, I want to make sure my paint sticks. Now the paint that I'm going to be using in here is also a cabinet paint, so it's different than your regular paint. It's a bit more oily, I'll say. I really mixed it. As you can see in the video here, I mixed it with a stick mixer, but I also got my drill and a mixer and made sure it was perfectly mixed up because I thought it was going on a little too patchy at first. As you can see here, you can see some of those spots, but I just think that was some points in the wood that just didn't want to accept the paint. And that's what this paint is made for. Now, was this a fun project? I'll probably say no. It wasn't too bad because it was right before Christmas, and every time around Christmas I usually watch the Harry Potter movies, so I let those run while I was painting this up. And as you can see, the fish were spinning around, and notice that the water is getting a little bit lower in that tank as I'm filming this video. Lo and behold, I found out that my filter sprung a leak in the middle of me watching this video, and I only learned that from editing this a couple days later and seeing that the water level was dropping rapidly. So we got that all fixed up, don't worry. But it's time for more paint on this. And as you can see, I had to paint inside of every crevice of this wood because there's really no good way to do it unless I had a paint sprayer. I do have a paint sprayer. I just didn't think it would be worth it for me to tape off everything in this room, especially this popcorn ceiling, which is going to be going down at some point. But I just wanted to make it as easy as possible. Just grab the roller, grab the brush, and go at it. Now, as you can see, as I start going on these second coats here, you can really see the paint taking its form, and the multiple coats of primer and paint are turning out to be worth it. I was actually getting a little nervous while I was doing this because this paint went on our cabinets in our kitchen upstairs easily. And it was a bit hard doing this one, but as you can see, we got the wall done. Now it's time to move on to the rest of the room and the other paneling. let's just pan around what's going on, Finn. And here you can see what we're gonna paint. And we're gonna paint this all one color. We're gonna paint it aged beige. And it's one of our favorite colors that we've used throughout our house. I was asking my wife if we were going to paint the lower wainscoting a different color, and I just threw some of that aged beige on just to see how it was gonna stick. This is not the special cabinet paint. This is actually just regular paint, and it went on better than the special cabinet paint did, actually. Another part of this project was going to be hiding the cords for this TV that were hanging down, because if there's one thing that bothers me, it is cords hanging down from a TV. They need to be hidden inside the wall. But as you can see here, I'm just taping off on the floor. I already painted between my paneling here, and it really only took 2 coats of this basic paint. So maybe if I tried the basic paint on the wood paneling before, it would have been all right. But it turned out great on this paneling. So let's see how the room looks after I have a big old pile of paint. Oh yeah, I forgot. We're gonna replace all these outlets in here too. So let's test it out, make sure that power's off, throw in the new outlet, throw in the new covers. Oh yeah, I also cut my finger open pretty bad. This was about 2 days before Christmas. But here is the finished product. Now we're gonna be getting new furniture in this room eventually. We're gonna be redoing the floor. The floor is very uneven. It's a tile that I have no clue how they made it so uneven. So we plan to do some type of hardwood or laminate flooring in here. I'll be sharing that video in the future, but this room is so much more brightened up. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you guys want to follow for homeowner and DIY tips, I post shorts daily, and I post these videos about once a week. So I appreciate you guys following. Thanks for checking out Dave Doc DIY.